It feels like every single day there's a new AI tool popping up, right? And if you're a designer, you're probably asking the same thing everyone else is. Is my job safe? Well, today we're going to put that to the test. We're taking a deep dive into Google's new AI design tool, Stitch, to see if it can actually replace a real human designer.
All right, so what is this thing, Google Stitch? The promise is pretty huge. It's an AI tool that says it can automatically create user interface designs for both mobile and web apps, all from just a simple text prompt. I mean, that's a powerful idea, but does it actually work?
Okay, so check this out. It's completely free, and it's from Google. That sounds like a winning combination, doesn't it? But we all know that doesn't guarantee anything. So the real question is it actually any good? Let's dig in and find out if it lives up to all that hype.
So, to really figure this out, we've got to look under the hood at how this tool actually works. Turns out, Stitch gives you two pretty different ways to generate designs, and you bet we're going to put both of them through their paces.
And what's interesting is, right out of the gate, you see this clear trade-off. You've got standard mode, which is faster, gives you way more tries, and lets you export to Figma and code. Then there's experimental mode. You get fewer tries, you can only export code, but, and this is a big but, it should give you better results. It's that classic dilemma, right? Speed versus quality.
Okay, let's kick things off with our first test, standard mode. This is the default, the everyday version. We're going to give it a simple prompt for a designer's portfolio website and just see what it cooks up.
So after about a minute, this is what Stitch spat out. And, well, it did include all the sections we asked for, but the design itself is just kind of flat. It's a really simple single-column layout, generic fonts. Honestly, it looks more like a basic CV than a portfolio for a creative professional. Yeah, it's functional, but inspiring? Not a chance. But, when you start digging a little deeper, that's when the real problems start to pile up. The color contrast is pretty bad, the code it exports is a complete mess, just a sea of divs. And if you're a developer, that's like trying to read a book with no paragraphs. It's a nightmare. Even the Figma file is a headache with these bizarre naming conventions like depth one frame. All of this just means a ton of cleanup work for anyone who has to use it. And honestly, this is a huge red flag. For a tool coming from Google, a company that usually pushes for web standards, to just ignore basic accessibility principles like color contrast, well, that's a pretty big disappointment. But here it is, the real kicker, the thing that just blew my mind. We gave it a simple, crystal clear instruction, move a headline so it's above the hero image. And the AI, it just didn't do it. It put the text right back where it was before, completely ignoring a direct command. I mean, that's a fundamental failure of its whole purpose.
Okay, so standard mode was, let's be honest, a bit of a letdown. But what about that supposedly more advanced experimental mode? Let's see if it can do any better and make up for the weaknesses we just saw. Now, the experience here is, well, it's different. You can upload a sketch as inspiration, which is a cool feature, but it is much, much slower. And all the customization options, they're disabled. There's no Figma export at all. And the results, they're described as very, very mixed, which is, not exactly a ringing endorsement.
But the real deal breaker, the thing that makes this almost unusable, is the total lack of consistency. When we asked it to generate more pages for the same project, Stitch came back with pages that had different background colors, different layouts, and even completely different navigation menus. For any real-world project, that's just chaos. It's completely unusable.
So get this, even the supposedly better mode can't handle something as basic as keeping a design consistent across a few pages. It's average at the very best.
All right, let's pull all of this together. We've looked at both modes. We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what's the final verdict on Google Stitch as it stands right now?
And this table really says it all, doesn't it? In the pros column, we've got one thing. It's free. That's it. And the cons column? Well, the designs are inconsistent and uninspired, the AI flat out ignores you, it fails on basic accessibility, and it creates a mountain of extra work. Not a great look.
So, to answer our big question, can Google Stitch replace a web designer? Right now, the answer is a very clear and definite no. If you're a junior or intermediate designer, you really don't have much to worry about. But pay very close attention to that last little phrase, for now.
Because this story, well, it's not over, not by a long shot. While this tool is pretty weak today, we have to talk about what it represents for the future of design.
And this is the single most important thing to remember about any AI you see today, in its flawed, frustrating state. Remember this sentence. This is the worst it's going to be. It only gets better from here.
Think about it. With every single prompt, every bit of user feedback, every single update, this thing gets smarter. And as it improves, those lower-end, more routine design jobs, the ones that are all about simple layouts and basic websites, those are absolutely going to be in jeopardy. Some might even disappear completely.
So we end up with a totally different question. The real question isn't if these AI tools will become good enough to replace certain design jobs, it's when. We're seeing this technology improve at an exponential rate. So the real question for everyone in this industry is, just how long will, for now, actually last?